Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well today. We're here to talk about the latest Manchester City news. Obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about transfer news, rumours, talk about the Golden Boy, who's been nominated for that, a couple of City players, talk about Campbell, Lucy Bronze, might mention her if I remember. Some of the stuff we talk about is a little bit more important than others, and the fact that I mentioned yesterday or the day before, we've got potentially 5 games in 13 days. Hi Akram, hope you're well. It's afternoon. It should be early evening in the UK. It must be 7:15. It's 7:45 in France. And as I said, lately I've been taking advantage of the nice weather. It's a bit windy today, but I think it's going to cool down a little bit tomorrow. It's been very, very hot. Hi Adam, hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're very well indeed. So the main talking points of today, you might have seen stuff about Tosin Adarabioyo, Campbell, Koulibaly, just a little bit, Garcia, just a little bit, Golden Boy, and new agreement with Nexen and City for shirt sleeve sponsorship. Right, guys, what I'm going to do, like yesterday, I'm going to go straight into it, get it through, and then we'll chit-chat for a few minutes. So, apparently, according to the MEN, Barcelona still want to sign Eric Garcia in the current transfer window. We discussed that yesterday. Their sporting director, Ramon Planes. City want to sell him at least 20 million euros. That's what we're looking for. Now, I've said it to you for weeks. I said it during the Messi stuff as well, that Barcelona seemingly don't have a pot to, you know what I mean? You know what I'm going to say? They don't seem to have the money. Okay? So obviously that's an issue for Barcelona, not for us. But Barcelona do seem to have a bit of a problem. Okay? Oops. Tell you what, people are ringing me up. I don't know who that was. Someone ringing me up for a podcast. It's got to be the craziest thing. Let me just check, guys. Apologies. He's calling me up on Skype. Very rarely that I get called up on Skype unless it's serious business. Good check, guys. Oh, sorry. It's Cheeky Bulgaristan. Cheeky Bulgaristan asked me for an interview. I'll leave that till later, guys. It isn't a live stream nowadays if KK doesn't get mentioned. Absolutely, mate. Hey, Harj, hope you well. It wasn't Torres, Richard Sada. That was Cheeky. I've asked Cheeky for an interview. Actually, let me check my emails. Did about. I'll check it later. Don't want to jinx it. Yeah, so where were we? Where were we? Let's see if I can get back to what I was talking about before I was rudely interrupted. So, a little bit of KK, Khalid Koulibaly. His lawyers had a few words to say. Let me just quickly get back to where I was. Okay, let's get back. I tell you what, let's go through everything. Let's go through everything that has come in today. Let's start from the top. So a few minutes in, but we can start from the top. Ferran Torres snubbed Manchester United to join Man City. Well, you know, people are going to say that he chose to join City over United. I'm not sure snubbed is the right word. The Garcia stuff I was talking about. Yeah, what I said earlier, I've said for weeks. I said Messi at the time of Messi. I said before Messi, before what that happened, that Barcelona are strapped for cash. Now, we talked in the past about the 800 million euro loan from Goldman Sachs. That's the problem. Have they got the money? I said, Inter haven't got the money because they couldn't get Tonali. Barcelona haven't put a bid in for Lautaro Martinez. You'd think they're trying to get things sorted, but they need to sell. They want to get rid of Coutinho. Apparently, they offered Griezmann to City. probably Griezmann to many clubs. If they can get Coutinho off the books, that's a huge impact. Even if they sell him for 50 million quid, they get 50 million quid in cash or equivalent. They get rid of his eye-watering amortization. Now, even if he costs 120 million, his amortization must be 20-25 million a year. That's huge. His wages, I can't believe his wages are anything less than 15 to 20 million a year. So he's probably costing them 40 odd million. 40 to 50 million quid a season is Coutinho. They can get rid of him. It helps to balance the books, gives them some cash. They can get rid of Griezmann, same story. Griezmann cost them what? I can't remember the numbers. Even if he's 130, 140 million, he's costing them, even if he's on a 6-year contract, he's costing them best about 24 million as well. 24 million euros a season. Then his wages. So he's costing them 50 million as well, maybe 60. It's ridiculous. So if they can shift these two guys off, that'll make a huge difference. It makes them able to go out and buy players. The longer they can't shift people like Griezmann, people like Coutinho, it's going to cause them problems. Yes, they've shifted to a few others. Suarez is going and one or two others, but they get rid of the wages and some amortization off the books. But they ain't got the money, so that's why they're not in for Lautaro Martinez. Now, what Planny said is it's true that we are looking for someone to help us in defence. Eric Garcia is a great player, made in Barcelona, who loves the club, but whether or not he can join depends on the market. The club's idea is to build a young side alongside players who have given a lot to the club. Eric has that profile. So as I said, they're strapped for cash, so they're not going to offer the right money. Now, Angelino apparently has discussed his Barcelona transfer interest. Now, this is in Sport Bild, and they say Angelino's confirmed he rejected interest from Barcelona to return to RB Leipzig. It's great that one of the biggest clubs in the world wanted me, but in my head, it was always clear. I want to stay with RB and not another club, no matter who it was. And once again, City fans have been out there saying, look, how can we be selling him for like 18 million euros? It's ridiculous. When Barcelona wants him, he's, Leipzig really want him. Why can't we get something like 30 million euros for him? That is a question now. Obviously, yesterday you saw Riyad Mahrez training ahead of the first game against Wolves. So he didn't go off with Algeria for international fixtures, but obviously he came a little bit later than everybody else because of the testing positive for COVID-19. But you could argue not going for international duty has helped him as well. So he'll have about a week to prove his fitness. So he's got a week. As I said, Torres turned down a chance to join Man United. He went for City instead, which you can't blame him, can you? Taylor Howard-Bellis's talk about him, obviously, if Eric Garcia leaves, if Otamendi leaves, if Torsen leaves as well. I don't think Torsen's in the reckoning anyway. He obviously moves up in the pecking order. Even if we get Koulibaly, let's say we get him, we've got Nathan Ake, Koulibaly, Stones, and Laporte. Taylor Howard-Bellis is fifth choice. It's not so bad for he's still 18 years old, academy product. So there was talk of him going out on loan, but maybe he'll stick around because of Garcia leaving. Man City have extended their partnership with Nexen Tyres. Now, Nexen will be the sleeve part of the women's team and the esports team as well as the men's team. Now, Ferran Soriano, our chief executive, he said, Manchester City has marked many milestones alongside Nexen Tyres, and after becoming the first Premier League club to launch a sleeve partner, we were delighted to then celebrate back-to-back Premier League titles with Nexen Tyre on our sleeves. We have been impressed by Nexen Tyres' ambition for creating exciting digital content campaigns, as well as sharing City's passion for providing young people around the world with opportunities to play the sport that they love. Nexen Tyre has grown with us to be part of the fabric of Manchester City, and we look forward to entering the third term of our successful partnership. Now, if I remember correctly, there was talk, was it 5 million quid the first season? I'll be shocked if quid. Now, Carabao Cup draw is a bit confusing for the new Bournemouth manager, Jason Tindall. Okay. He said they were not happy, apparently, that the draw had been done in advance. Jason Tyndall said, it didn't frustrate me knowing that we had to go to Man City because it's a great challenge for us. I thought it was a bit strange the next round draw had already taken place, considering the day it was always being the way it's always been done. I'm sure there are reasons as to why it was done that way. And the most important thing for us tonight was to deliver a good performance and get through to the next round, which is what they did. So any other bits? Ronald Koeman's been talking to Fox Sports Netherlands about the position in the transfer market. Apparently, Barcelona were embarrassed. Okay, let's go through this story. Yesterday, when Lyon president Jean-Michel Aulas quote tweeted a report about a move for Memphis Depay to reveal that Barcelona president Josep Maria Bartomeu, Michael tell me for that, has rung him up to say that he could not afford the player and needed to sell first. Koeman backed that comment up later on and suggested they will not be adding new faces to the squad for the season. That could mean Eric Garcia. Obviously, we talked about him before. Stays at the headset for another year. He said, Koeman said, "We're working towards the new season, and I think we'll go into it with some of the same group of players that we have now for pre-season." Basically, as I said, at least they're publicly saying we need to sell before we buy. So it's they need to sell before they buy. So what's going to happen? Is anything going to happen? Anyway, let's move on. Golden Boy. 2 Man City stars named on the European Golden Boy shortlist. Now, this award honours the best young players under the age of 21. Ferran Torres, obviously he's not playing for City yet, a competitive game, and Phil Stockport Iniesta. Phil Foden. Now, we ain't going to win that. We'll say it straight up front. Last year, Joao Felix won it. Previous one has been Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, and Wayne Rooney. Who do you think is going to win it? Jadon Sancho's got a good chance. Let's mention a couple of players that you might have heard of. Alphonso Davies, excellent left back for Bayern Munich. Esposito from Inter, Sebastiano Esposito. Fabio Silva for Wolves. Ansu Fati for Barcelona. I mean, he's an exciting talent. Ryan Gravenberch from Ajax. Amin Guri from Nice. I mean, obviously Mason Greenwood from United. Erling Haaland. Can't miss him out. Callum Hudson-Odoi. Not played that. It's a lot of French players, guys. It's probably looking down the list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've seen 8 already. 8's still not bad. Obviously got Vinicius Junior, Sandro Tonali. I quite like him. Jadon Sancho seems well ahead of everybody. Rodrigo from Real Madrid, and Bukayo Saka from Arsenal. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, I expect it probably will go to Jadon Sancho. Another bit of information is Megan Campbell is finally closing in on a longer way to return to action for City. Now, the Republic of Ireland defender has been sidelined several months on her run last her return to light training. She admits in what is shaping up to be a mouth-watering FA Women's Super League campaign. Speaking on last weekend's We're Not Really Here pre-match show, the 27-year-old revealed she's steadily stepping up her programme after many months of rehab. Of course you want to be on the grass when you're a footballer, said Campbell. If any footballer said they're okay to sit in the stand or on the bench, are they really there for the game of football? I'm looking forward to being back out with the girls, but every day is a day closer to being there. Everything is going good so far. Now, she penned a new deal this summer, and she's been at City for 4 years. So it'd be interesting to see what happens to her. If you want to read some more stuff on Megan Campbell, it's on the City official website. Let's see what you guys are saying. So the idea behind, obviously, the new way, the way I'm doing it, the way I used to do it in the past, is get the stories out quickly. And anybody who's the show afterwards has only got 10 or 15 minutes instead of 30 or 40. You can watch that. they got money to buy Tipai, though. Edwin, they haven't got the money. It's been publicly said they ain't got the money. They have to sell before they buy. Richard Sather, what about the Messiah Academy as Barcelona? What about it, Richard? I mean, what can they do? I mean, you have to give me the context of your comment, Richard, there. Colin Stroll. Man City said to raise the Koulibaly offer to 70 million plus sponsors. Do you think Eddie will accept it? Honestly, Colin, no idea. I think he's going to dangle leave. He's going to wait until right at the last minute. He apparently the route. I mean, they're putting out the stories that they don't need the money. They're not desperate to sell. He's not desperate to move. So who knows what? Look, it's always that one thing. Who knows where the truth is? Eddie reckons the golden ball will be Sancho or Trent Alexander-Arnold. Yep, I think that's right. Davis will probably win it, says Ikram. I don't think Davis. I don't know. Akash, hi, how you doing, buddy? Robert Beard, how come we are playing any friendlies before Monday? You got to ask Pep, man. Got to ask Pep. You know, do we think we can just turn up and do it? I think what it'll be is we'll have a big. Look, we've got a big squad. Okay, we've got a very big squad. A lot of kids, like we did in the Champions League stuff. We had a lot of kids playing with the first team and the can I call it the second stringers? So we had a lot of exciting talent like Jaden Braff, like Cole Palmer, Tommy Doyle, and a few others playing with the big boys, training with them. I think in-house. Robert, we do need match practice, and I think that'll come in a couple of friendlies between the squad. Take a moment to spare. I thought for Tottenham Hotspur, if they beat Lokomotiv Moscow tomorrow, they're set to play 4 games in 7 days: 1 Premier League, 1 Carabao Cup, 2 Europa League. Shocking. Absolutely. Come look at us. If we beat, I mean that's horrendous. That 4 in 7. If we beat Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup next week, then we'll have 5 games in 13. It is ridiculous. And considering we had less time than everybody else to recover, it's pathetic. It really is. And we should have had more time. They could have found the time. No doubt in my mind, they could have found the time. And I'd worked out they could have started in October and squeezed all the games. And yes, you're playing a lot in a short space of time, but I think we deserved another week at least. Hi, Dre. Hope you're well, buddy. I'm at sharpness as the squad is a worry. We don't have these fixtures. I really hope this Koulibaly thing ends this weekend. Fed up with this now. We go. Yeah, look, if we've got another option, go for it because it's dragged on far too long. Everton looking a better team. They've got a couple of good players in. You know, they've been a bit wobbly last season, but hey, you know, get a bit of strength with James Rodriguez. He's going to make a bit of a difference to them. Allen, he's going to make a difference as well. Edwin says, according to Fabrizio Romano, it's not the Barca don't have the money. They need to sell because it's La Liga rules. Didn't know that, Edwin, but still don't think we got all the money. I don't know where the Liga rules come in. You have to explain that to me. It is said that City will raise their official for Koulibaly, says Colin. I don't think he'll accept that. And using Koulibaly, I see the same old. John, it's the same old. No news is bad news. Look, you know, look, I don't think deep down there's any big move. It's a big move, final big opportunity of his career to play it right at the top end, have a chance in the Champions League, earn a bit more money. I can see why he wants to do the move, but he's not going to come out and say an Astra transfer is not going to come out and spoil his relationship with Napoli. Hi, Man City 255. No news is good news. Hi, Faris. Hope you're well, guys. I did another video today about up to £100 million hole in Manchester City's accounts, which might be driving some of our transfer dealings. We read from Stephen today that Tosin Adarabioyo is set to leave. A few clubs interested in him. Someone, don't know where I read that, someone said it was for about 8 million. But I've been saying it since last season. So, you know, he might have some first-hand information, but guys, let's be clear. It was pretty obvious. Okay, you got your first choice centre back is Laporte. Your second choice or your pairing choice is, if you get him, Koulibaly. Okay, then you've got Nathan Ake. John Stones is sticking around. So you've already got 4 players before you even start looking at Tosin. You got Fernandinho. If Otamendi doesn't go, you got Otamendi. If Garcia doesn't go, you got Garcia. You've got Taylor Howard-Bellis as well. I make it 8 players ahead of Tosin. Now, okay, Otamendi may leave and Garcia may leave. Then you're down to 6 players ahead of Tosin. And remember, last season, Pep played Rodri as a centre-back against Crystal Palace rather than Otamendi or Stones or Garcia. I think Otamendi and Garcia were on the bench that day. So, really, Tosin, 6th best at best. 6th in line at best. There's no point in him sticking around. Let's be clear. There's no point. If he couldn't get back last season. He couldn't get back last season. After the pretty decent season he had at West Brom. Now, look at it last summer. He's had a decent season at West Brom. For whatever reason, West Brom didn't ask him to go back, and he's had to go down lower in the league to still half decent team in the Championship, but one that you weren't sure would challenge for the title or for promotion in Blackburn. Now he's had another good season. Talking to a Blackburn fan today, he said he's worth more than 10 million. He said, I think they had another defender. He said he's for about 10 million. He said Tosin's better. He's got pace, power, and all that. So 8 million does seem a little bit cheap, but go and have a look at that video if you can, guys. It's explaining why we potentially have a haul up to 100 million in our accounts. That's another reason to flog off the players. Look at the video I did with Colin a few days ago. That gives you more information as well. What date does the transfer window show? I think it's 5th of October. Ikram. Faris, why do all these we want to leave our on a 1-year contract? Well, the thing is, Faris, here's the deal. They're on usually 4-year contracts, I think, when they come. Garcia's been here 3 years. Okay, so they put them on 4-year contracts. They're not going to shine and get through within 2 years. Usually, it takes, like Sancho, I think Rabi Matondo, Brahim Diaz, like Garcia, it takes 2 or 3 years to start coming through. Now, if it's taking you 3 years to start coming through, which it has with Garcia coming through after about 2.5 years, it's taking you basically 3 years to come through. You can have 1 year left on your contract and sit vulnerable then. Now, what I said what I said about the Garcia situation, I said this is happening too often. Maybe we need to give them a 5-year contract. Now, a 5-year contract isn't going to cost us that much extra. If we're going to pay them £1 million a year salary, let's just say that 20 or 30 grand a year, having them for that extra year is costing us £1 to £1.5 million. Now, you might think that's not a lot, but sadly, if you've got 20 players, that's costing you 20 to 30 million quid. It takes you into a loss. So that's where some of the risk is. But if we had him on a 5-year contract and we were paying him 20 grand a week, we wouldn't be in the position we're in now. We wouldn't have been in the position with Sancho. We could have gone to Sancho or got a better fee for him. I don't know if we can allow to have a 5-year contract. I don't know. Possibly Sancho, we could possibly, get there with 2 years left. Barcelona would have to pay a decent wedge to get him from us because he's got that 2 years left on his contract. So either we give them a 5-year deal or we renegotiate after 2 years if somebody is looking really, really promising. Now, I think we could have done that with Garcia. He looked promising 2 years ago, or a year ago, sorry. Why didn't we renegotiate last summer? Why didn't we do that? I don't know. Just over 3 weeks left, Ikram. Hi. Carl looks need to move Roberts on now too. Yeah, Patrick Roberts, another kid who wasted his career by taking it too easy. If we move him on, what's he going to go for? 5, 6, 7 million? Really disappointed with Patrick Roberts, but he's made mistakes. He's gone down a path and he's messed it up for himself, in my opinion. Shanu Koulibaly is worth it to sign him, maybe try to buy Denny back or Upamecano. Mr. Shanu, Denny's going to cost us over 20 million anyway. If I wouldn't look at Denny, I'd look at Upamecano. They don't want Denny back. I don't think Denny would come back. He felt cheated. THP isn't ahead of Torsten, says Edward, and Stones don't deserve that. Well, that's the situation, Edward. Stones is ahead. Okay, if he's sticking around. And I think Taylor Howard-Bellis is too, because he's at City. He stayed here. Why don't we ask them if they want to stay 2 years left in the contract, also they leave? Forrest, that's what I was just saying. And I said, I talked about that weeks and weeks ago, that we need another solution. Now, it doesn't mean that we give every kid an extra 2 years, just, or look at them extending when they've only got 2 years left. We really say, right, sign on. If they're not going to sign on to extend the contracts, then we try and bump them off. We try and get rid of them. Because we know, if we help them to develop for another season, then they've got 12 months left, then it's easier to stick it out for 12 months or get out on the cheap. Mr. Shanu, City made a mistake selling Jason Denayer. I think we should have been the new company if he said. I'm not sure he was that good, as good as that, but certainly I don't think he should have been sold. I think he should have at least been given a chance. Now we all say that, but maybe to be given a chance might have been in training, and maybe he didn't show enough in training, and that's why he was shown the door. It doesn't strike me as a kid who goes around smiling all the time. That's what Pep wants. Smilers. I feel Iheanacho was a better finisher than Gabby. What do you think? It's a shame. Iheanacho, like Gabby, didn't rely on confidence. Iheanacho, I tell you what, I talked about him yesterday. I think it was yesterday when I put a video up. Can't remember the game now, where he scored. And I just said, Iheanacho is in the right place at the right time. He's there for the tap-ins. He knows where the goal is. Okay? At Leicester, he's been asked to do something different. At City, he would still get those tap-ins. Leading the line? No. I would never want Kelechi leading the line. I don't think he's good enough. Second striker? Top man. Top man. He could have done the Gabriel Jesus role better than Gabriel Jesus, in as much that I think Kelechi knows where the goal is. He'll get a lot of tap-ins. He's got a lot of tap-ins, but for whatever reason, he's gone. Ferran Torres shows ambition in his comments, as far as absolutely, mate. Ikram was a finisher, but he would have. Faris, based on his comments, Pep was back in training before we knew, so maybe on Monday he came back in training. I thought it was Monday, Faris, not Tuesday. What's the day? What's the difference does that make? Mr. Shannon, Pep should have given Iheanacho a chance. Yeah, look, Iheanacho was playing for us, and he did score a goal against United. I think when we won 2-0, was it 2-1? Most strikers who were finishers started to be clinical when they are all like Aubameyang and Lewandowski. Well, the thing about, as I said, Iheanacho was always seemed to be in the right place at the right time. Right, guys, a couple more minutes. I'm going to go out for a walk in a few minutes. Is there anything more? Is there anything interesting out there? Torsten put out a tweet bang on when we started this. He said, that was half an hour ago. He said, success isn't owned, it's leased. And the rent is due every day. That's Torsten and his PR team. People asking him questions. No, he's not going to answer. A lot of people saying gutted to see you go and stuff like that. So yeah, Torsten, well, Stephen's right. But as I said, I didn't expect him to stay. I didn't expect him to stay because of all the people ahead of him. So, probably Stevens met him many years ago and got some information. Now, from knowing players, fair dues. But it's not a great leap of faith to think Torsten had no future at City. Faris says Lewandowski started to reach his prime late, so maybe we could. I'm not saying get rid of him, Faris. No, but unless someone puts a good offer in, I wouldn't say get rid of him. Do you believe we'd be there 9 million for Jimenez? No, Akash. There you go. Mr. Shanu Aguero would have been more. How many players would have broken records if they had been injured so much? You got people like Marco van Basten. Look how good he was. It happens, Mr. Shanu. You have to take the rough with the smooth. Not related to, but could you see Bale back at Spurs? Yeah, I think it could happen, Ikram. Why? Because Real Madrid will let him go on the cheap. That's why. They could easily pay half his wages. That's why. And Spurs would get somebody who would bring in a lot of interest. Yes, it sells shirts and stuff like that, but it would help raise the profile of the club. I mean, look, Bale's won how many Champions League? Was it 4? It helps to raise the profile as well. Campbell and Ottoman and Garcia need to go too. Absolutely, I think so. It's weird to see that the man who could transform Arsenal was an assistant at City. Very weird. Absolutely, Faris. I mean, look, Arsenal. I watch some. I don't watch or listen to many podcasts or YouTube stuff, but I watch Arsenal stuff because I've done some stuff with the guys there. Always really good to see old Arsenal. So I watched a little bit of their show the other night on Monday night, and those guys are really excited for the season. They look back at they've beaten Liverpool twice, they've beaten United, they've beaten City, they've beaten Wolves, beaten Sheffield United. The only main team they lost to is Spurs. They beat Chelsea as well. So those guys are absolutely buzzing the way Arteta's transforming their fortunes. Messi just scored for Barcelona. What is it, a friendly, Ikram? Is it a real game? Faris, if Aguero had the same game time as Salah, he would be reaching Lewandowski numbers. Quite possibly. I mean, last season, 16 league goals in 24 league games. Pretty decent numbers, if you ask me. Have a look. What your hey, this video's done all right. And the selling plays on the cheap one, that looks like it's done not too bad either. But that's because it's a decent video, guys. If I do say so myself. So if you get a chance once this is over, go ahead. It's about just over 20 minutes long, but you get the flavour of it quite quickly. Actually, when I started doing that video, I thought, can I get this one done in less than 10 minutes? That's what I was hoping to do, to squeeze that in less than 10 minutes. It didn't happen, guys. 22 minutes. But sometimes when I get going, there's a lot to talk about. Right, guys, I think that's my lot. Let's see any more comments and then I'll disappear. Still the best striker in the league. People just forget it because he's barely gets to play. Absolutely, Kram. Possibility he can just possibly, but I think once he's Arsenal, if he does 2 or 3 years at Arsenal and he's doing well, why would he want to leave? Edwin, senior players will always be ahead of young players, but if we never give them a chance, we will never realise. Absolutely, I totally agree, Edwin. Sam City, where do we finish next season, mate? I will regressed, and that's what I don't know if we regressed, but I'm concerned that Pep's taken so long to come back. That's a worry. Top 2. Top 2. But as I said yesterday, we weren't terrible last season. It just looked like that. All those draws against Spurs and Palace and Leicester or whoever, or not Newcastle, sorry. Losing to United twice, we should have got 90 points last season. Might still not have won it, but 90 points would have been a bit closer and it might put pressure on Liverpool. Ikram, I don't think is attacked affiliation with the club and vice versa. Absolutely, I think relegation zone as it stands, tough season ahead. We could be bottom on Monday. Could be bottom. Sack Pep out. The Wolves game is a huge now, especially if Liverpool beat Chelsea as they played before us. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Mr. Shannon, the season prediction: City first, Liverpool second, Chelsea third, Arsenal fourth. Champions League: City, Carabao Cup, Chelsea, FA Cup, Arsenal. Will we come back to them at the end of the season? Edwin, Arsenal got Saliba and Gabriel, both young centre backs with loads of potential that I'd like. Would it be a failure if we didn't win the league or Champions League? It would be, I'm not sure about failure, but it'd be a failure if we don't put a better fight. Look, if we got 98 points and Liverpool got 99, would you say that's a failure of a season? It's hard to say. Guys, I think as it gets dark here, that's my lot. I'll try and come up, I'm not sure, little earlier tomorrow, but I've got so many activities now going on during the day. My lads have got tomorrow and drum practice. My lads got drum practice as well, so quite busy. But try and work it out because I much prefer to do it in the light and on balcony. Guys, take it easy. I'll catch you tomorrow. And please, if you get the chance, go and watch the video I did today about the £100 million hole in City's finances. Take it easy, guys. See you around.